Every person that I've worked with inside of Risk360, amazing.
Hey everyone, I'm Cory Wolff, Director of Offensive Security at Risk3sixty, and I have the great pleasure today of speaking with one of our clients from MapLarge, Marvell. Marvell, I know who you are, but could you maybe tell those that don't know who you are, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and what you got going on?
Yes, so I'm Marvell Summerow. I work for MapLarge. I'm the Senior Security Program Manager. I manage all aspects of security when it comes to compliance, regulatory compliance, and personnel security. So that's my day to day. Is It's really busy with a mix of different things. Mostly during audit season, it's all about compliance, so regulatory and statutory requirements that we may have.
Audit season. When does that end and when does that start?
Never, it never ends. Uh, I get a break. That's what I can say. We get a break after the internal audit, and then we move on to external season, which runs from mid July till right before Christmas usually.
Yeah, audit season. So I'm sure that's a challenge. You must face other challenges day to day. Other than audit season, what kind of things pop up for you?
Oh man, a lot. It just depends. If you ask any person that's dealing with the compliance, it's changing every day. Um, some programs more than others, or adding new programs. Uh, so I mean, between that and answering questions from the team about a specific piece of compliance, it always changing. It always changes.
Yeah, and you guys are working with lots of different frameworks and programs too, aren't you? What are some of the big ones that you're working on?
The big ones that I'm working on right now are FedRAMP. Uh, we are in our second year with GovRAMP, which is formerly StateRAMP. Um, we're ISO 9001, 27701, which is privacy, 27001, which is information security, and then we are SOC 2 and SOC 3.
My day to day, of course, I'm familiar with compliance and all the frameworks, but my day to day is not compliance driven. Out of curiosity, have you faced any challenges with the changes or proposed changes? So with FedRAMP, have the changes actually been put into place that I've been seeing in the news everywhere?
Some of them. So we're in the 20X program. Just finished our external audit. Um, so that program is going away in the 19th. I'm not sure when this is released of August. So other than that, I have not been able to follow it as much as I want to because of the ever changing environments with AI and how the government is responding to it at this moment. So that's probably the biggest concerns right now, is how we integrate with AI as a company and what regulations are out there.
That's a good point about AI, and I think a lot of companies are probably facing similar challenges when it comes to AI. What are some of the biggest ones that you've seen? So, for example, some of our clients, they're 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 trying to get a handle on what all the employees are doing with AI. One is probably the biggest one that I hear of on a day-to-day basis. So, are they using ChatGPT? Are they using Copilot? Are they using this, that, the other thing? That's probably one of the biggest ones. Are you facing that sort of same issue when it comes to AI, or are you facing any other issues when it comes to AI?
No, I guess the biggest concern with us is we're trying to integrate AI into our map. Uh, Not really into the coding or using it for anything outside of that. I mean, yes, they probably use it whenever we're using, trying to look up something um, but it's not specific to the code per se. I went to a conference where they were talking about that, where you still have to check the code even though you're using AI, but our guys don't use AI for coding.
No, it's kind of the wild west out there right now with, with AI and all the different applications and all the different challenges that are coming up with it and that kind of thing. So, we've been talking here about challenges. On the flip side, Is there anything that you can think of that has really been working for you in the day to day, work that you're doing?
Yes, hiring risk3sixty to help us with compliance. I mean, it really is. Uh, it takes some of the workload off to a point. Um, I mean, yes, there's stuff that I still have to do, but to keep me on that calendar and ensure that I'm staying in compliance, risk risk 360 is uh, my backbone, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I know Darren. You work with Darren a lot, and I know Darren appreciates the relationship. And we've loved working with you for I don't know how many years now, quite a long time. And so, I
7,
yeah,
something like that, 7, 8.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. It's been 7 or 8 years. You're right. It's been it's been a while, no question about it. Yeah, no, that's great to hear. Appreciate the kudos there. That was nice for you to throw in. Yeah, no, like I said, Darren speaks highly of you and of the company, and I know that he really enjoys working with you. So, I'm glad that we're able to help out and provide value in that way. One of the other things that we do for you is attack surface management. So I know early on, before you started working with us with ASM, we had some discussions around, kind of the continuous aspect of ASM and essentially the 24/7 type monitoring that's going on. I guess I have a question for you around that, and that, as opposed to a penetration test, or because I know that you do penetration tests, right? Why go with attack surface management as opposed to just doing another penetration test?
The pen test, I'll say this: we do 2 pen tests a year. We do an internal and external. Internal, of course, is you're giving them the keys to the castle and seeing what's vulnerable. External, of course, is just a regular external pen test where you get an external portion of that. ASM, on the other hand, it's getting everything. There's stuff that we did not even discover that ASM did. Um, I can recall a couple years ago where our cyber insurer found some items, and we were not aware. Um, and I know that with ASM, that right there, 100% hands down, has found stuff um, that we did not know existed. It may not be ours, but it could be a duplicate of our site or a duplicate um, um, of something. Um, so it's just interesting to get a monthly report to see what kind of new stuff's out there. Um, no, we did not at first give them any of the server names or anything like that. So that's the best part is go find it, and they are. The ASM tools, the use of it is just amazing. We just really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I appreciate that as well, and that's a big part of ASM is you don't know what you don't know, and I'm glad that been able to provide that to you. When we started to talk about ASM, and then we actually start to get into the campaign, were there any surprises, either positive or negative, that kind of jumped out? If not, that's okay. I'm just curious if there was anything that maybe you weren't expecting, again, positive or negative, that came out of working with us in ASM.
Yeah, actually, right at the beginning, the when we were in talks about getting ASM, I can't remember if what it was, but it was one of our vulnerable spots that we had open, and the tool, when it was presented to us, it was like, oh wow, it's the eyes opening. This might be worth utilizing and doing. So I went back to the stakeholders um, to get their buy-in on it and show them exactly what can happen with it, and it's been working ever since.
Yeah, are you talking about when I think we were in the office that day, and we showed some stuff, and yeah, no, yeah, I remember that day. There was a crew of us. We had some lunch, I think, that day, right?
Yes, right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. We again going back to the don't know what you don't know, and I know that there's been other situations where, of course, we're not going to talk about them, but there's been other situations that have come up to where, I think we've been able to identify certain things that, might not have been able to be seen previously. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that was a positive surprise and not, well, I don't know if that is that a positive or a negative surprise, I guess is a question, but
Um, it can go either way. It was a negative as in I didn't know. It's a positive as in, okay, we can utilize this to make this system even better. So it's definitely worthwhile.
absolutely. Out of curiosity, how did you originally get connected with risk3sixty? So we said 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
How did the whole partnership start?
I was not there during the beginning. Um, I think it was year two. Was I was working with Risk360 and learned about the relationship um, and how it all evolved. So one of the stakeholders was shopping around for someone to help them with the compliance, and he liked the personability that Risk360 has, and how close knit we were at the beginning. So at year two, it just became bigger and bigger, and we just kept going. I was hired to do just specifically compliance, and I'm the facility security officer there as well. And we've just built this relationship between Risk360 and MapLarge, and it's just again, it's the personability. I can call or text or write an email or um, and I'm going to get a response. And that's the key is I don't want to wait, half a day. Sometimes I need it immediately. So if I need it immediately, I may shoot a text and say, "Hey, check your email. I might need something." Um, and that's the kind of relationship that I've created. And I mean, it's nice to see that the companies are so close.
I appreciate you calling that out because we do put a lot of effort into being available and being a true partner. We make a conscious effort to do that. And for those of you that are watching, I didn't ask him to say that, so I appreciate you bringing that up because we really do. We put a lot of effort into being that way, and being an actual partner. And if you need to text us, you can text us, and we're there, right? And so it's the same thing whether you're doing compliance with us or you're doing ASM with us. You can always connect with us in Teams, Slack, text, email, you name it, right? It's pretty constant communication. And so I really appreciate you calling that out. So just out of curiosity, did have you in the past? I'm guessing you work with other firms as well. Doing other things, but like you mentioned before, we have this long running partnership. Are there any moments that pop out over the course of our partnership here together? Are there any highlights that kind of stick out to you over the years that when you think about how we've worked together for so long, is there anything that just jumps out at you as being memorable?
Anytime I've wanted to take on a new framework, you guys have been there. I mean, it literally has been at the beginning. Again, we were only SOC 2 and 27,001 when I came on board. Now we're SOC 2, SOC 3. We've got as my boss calls it, is the Boy Scout badges. We've got all of them now. So we got a laundry list of them on our sleeve or on our chest, and every step of the way, even if it was something that Risk360 was not versed in, they wanted to know that kind of information. Hey, so how was your audit, or how's it going on this framework, i.e. NIST 800-171? That's a little bit different when it first came out, or CMMC, uh, and Risk360 didn't help us with that. Um, but every step of the way, it's been just memorable. I mean, you guys want to take on more and more, and I love it. And I'm glad that ASM is there because yes, it has taken burden of trying to find out if there's any vulnerable spots that every day, if there's something that hits, I mean, we might get an email. If it's an immediate, we may get a phone call, which we haven't had. I'm gonna knock on wood on that. Um, but have I gotten emails? So of course, yeah, I know we have. But yeah, we just really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you taking the time here today. I know you're a busy guy, so you know any time that we can get from you to do something like this, we really do appreciate it. I think we could probably wrap it up and give you get you back to your day to day. But before we do, any last things that you want to say?
If you're looking for a consultant firm, and again, he's not telling me to say this, but every person that I've worked with inside of risk3sixty, amazing. Um, they're personable. They respond. Um, if they don't know the answer, they're going to look it up. They're going to find out. They're going to get somebody that knows what's going on. So uh, I just really appreciate the time of actually being able to tell you, the listener, and Cory here, about how I feel, and thank you guys for helping us through the years.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for taking the time, and we really do appreciate it. And to those of you watching out there, I hope this has been helpful. Please feel free to reach out to anybody at Risk360 if we can answer any questions for you. I want to say thanks again to Marvell, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your day. Speak soon.
Yep. See ya.